KaPow!
Welcome everybody to KaPow IFF 2021. I am Kurt Clendenin. Today we have two extraordinary filmmakers here. We have Scott Simerly Jr. and Patrick McElroy. And
hey, thanks for having us.
Oh man, thank you so much for being here. And these guys have created such a fun movie called Alien Guy Tim. And it's just lighthearted, it's wholesome, it's great for the whole family. And I got to know, how long did it take for you guys to shoot that?
Well, we shot it in 3 days. So, we tried to condense it as much as possible, and we did it in 3 days.
Holy cow, 3 days. Man,
Yeah.
You guys must have been really in the groove during that time.
We were moving. Yeah, we had the first 2 days were Tim focused of the interviews and then with his brother and sister and whatnot and with his True Believers Club. And then the last day was out in the desert. So it was a fun way to end. But I remember that drive back Sunday night was pretty exhausting.
Oh my gosh. Well, I saw you guys driving out there. I was so excited to see the fans out there in Beaumont. Did you guys go out to Joshua Tree, or where did you shoot that scene?
We did, yeah. I was out in Joshua Tree.
Oh God, that's so, and it just feels so good out there. And I gotta say, I love the drone shots that you had. It kind of gave me like this idea of like a little bit of foreshadowing of what was to come. It almost felt like you were seeing from the UFO's point of view. You were seeing that. That's what it felt like to me when I saw the drone shots. I'm like, wow, cool. The sky is watching. So you guys had so much great, the editing was awesome. And I checked out IMDb. You guys have had quite a prolific history of working together, and you doing tons of editing. I mean, lots of editing on projects.
Yeah, that's obviously, yeah, that's my main job these days. As editor. And so, yeah, I've been very fortunate to have at least a decent career so far. And so, yeah, luckily when Pat and I work together, it's always a lot of fun to actually get to direct and shoot. And I know Pat can elaborate on our collaboration more. But.
Yeah, just I guess to elaborate on that, we met freshman year of college, and so we started making little videos and stuff back then. And I think he always he had the camera and liked to edit, and I liked to write and act. And so we kind of became a natural pair and realized we had the same sense of humor. So we've just always enjoyed making things together. It's been a natural pair.
Well, it's great. You guys have a great rapport. This is how all the great comedy duos are born. When you look at some of these movies and you start seeing similar people showing up in them, like the Wes Anderson films, every time you see a Will Ferrell movie, you're like, okay, where's Owen Wilson, or where is Ben Stiller? That one of them's going to pop out of the shadows every once in a while. Or an Adam Sandler film, like the fact that like these dudes are friends. They're friends, and they create together, and they end up becoming the mainstream, which is such an astounding example if you think about it. Starting on this independent level, now like Kevin Smith, you start on this independent level, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, look at the big budgets we got.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see people like they sort of as they're rising up in their careers and their fame, they bring their friends with them, and I think. And yeah, like you're saying, we noticed on all our, on all the shoots and things and that we've worked on over the years and the films I've worked on, you kind of start working with the same people over and over again because you learn that, like you said, that rapport. And we hope, as we keep making more films, that we can use the same cast and crew because, we love everybody that worked with us on this one.
Well, I noticed that, was this the first movie that you guys worked on, Chilichin? Was that the first one you guys actually met up on and worked on?
You can go ahead, Pat.
Well, we had made a couple of other little things here and there, but I guess to try to really make a short film that we had success with, Chilichin was our first, and that was, I guess, our senior year of college.
Yeah, it was like 08, 09, I think.
Does it have to do with like a frozen chinchilla or something?
Well, it does have a chinchilla. Scotty had a pet chinchilla, and the concept behind that film was that the chinchilla talked to me and told me to kill people, and that was the idea.
Brilliant.
Like horror comedy. Yeah, it was something really silly that we didn't expect much, and it was a part of a week-long festival, I guess. You had like a week to put everything together, and we submitted it, and we ended up winning Best Picture. So that was like a real. I know Pat and I both agree that was a big moment for us to be like, oh, like
whoa,
people besides our friends and family enjoy this, like strangers enjoy this. And so that was like a big turning point, I feel like, for the both of us.
And how cool is that? You guys, you just did this absurd thing. You're just getting a kick out of doing this thing, making each other laugh, going, wouldn't that be funny if the chinchilla told me to kill people? And it just started out. And the fact that you followed your inspiration and allowed that, it's like, it was like the universe was, going, hey, come on, you got to make this thing, because you have no idea all the praise and accolades you're going to get once you do make it. So it's like, you never know how you're going to inspire people, do you?
Right, absolutely. And this was the first time seeing our film in a theater, and it was just, that's such an incredible experience. I mean, to experience that, I think there are probably 250, 300 people in the theater watching our film on the big screen. There's really no other feeling like that. It's
no, there's not.
Amazing.
It really is, because you're thinking in the back of your brain of all the movie magic, of all the stuff that it took to write the thing, or the days that you put into creating it, or the funny stuff behind the scenes, and so like all that stuff is still fresh in your mind, and yet here's this brand new thing to these people that are seeing it for the first time, and they have no frame of reference, for what led up to that moment. All they see is this product of inspiration. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think that was the coolest part, was watching it and hearing people laugh at moments that we didn't think were funny. We thought they were maybe dark, and then vice versa. Maybe they're like, oh, they kind of got a movie that literally is about a talking chinchilla. Sounds insane, but some moments they're kind of like, getting a little sad about it. And that's what's been a cool progression with Alien Guy Tim, because it was a very absurd idea that we developed. And then, to see people, especially in theaters, there are moments where I think we still talk about, we're like, wow, we didn't think someone would laugh at that scene. Or the people get very like they are taking it seriously in these moments that we were hoping for them to. And so it's
wow.
Just really
well,
cool.
I just gotta say, Patrick, you're the one you played Alien Guy Tim, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So you did a great job, man. You did, like, the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, like your voice inflection. It seems so. Like, your character was so natural, and I had to click back and forth going, okay, is this a mockumentary or is this an actual dude? So you really committed to that character very, very well.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that. Thanks. And it was a fun character to do, and the inspiration behind that character was watching a lot of Ancient Aliens, and then from that, me and my brother just kind of developed this character, this guy Tim, who's been abducted by aliens, and he has this whole alien girlfriend, this whole thing, and just developing this character. And I started doing this on Instagram before we decided to make a short film. And so we had gotten some people who were like, is this guy for real? Have you been abducted? And so we just thought, and that's kind of helped us come up with this idea, like, let's shoot it like a real doc, and then kind of play it off this way.
Now, are either of you guys, because you guys had a lot of production design in there with great books. I mean, the picture of UFO that's hanging above Tim's head, which is great, because there's just a beam, which is another beautiful foreshadowing. But you see this UFO up there going just into his brain. You guys had a lot of the Starry Night, the with the UFO up in there. I mean, you guys had just such great production design on this thing. Did you guys go out and buy this stuff? Are you guys also UFO enthusiasts?
No, thanks for calling that out, because we had a lot of fun going on Amazon and whatnot, and just buying all these random alien things. So no, I mean I think we both, like Pat said, he enjoys Ancient Aliens, but we didn't own that stuff before. So yeah, it was a lot of fun finding all that and piecing it together and figuring out where it would work within the scenes to cut away to kind of give you a little laugh now and then.
Well, I think you guys did a great job portraying this character, not in a, making fun of him light, but from a very sympathetic point of view. Here's this poor guy, because there are tons of people out there that are just like Tim. Tim's character, where people are going to watch this and go, oh my God, I too have been abducted. I too have seen, crafts in the sky. And a lot of these people have been shuffled off to mental institutions or told that they were crazy and everything by their parents. And, now we're seeing this new information about the Galactic Federation, that we've been in contact with them for decades and decades. The Black Vault is releasing all this information. So we're seeing a lot more talk now that's happening about ETs and UFOs. What are your guys' thought? Like, have either of you guys had UFO sightings, or are you at all, believers of the ETs?
So yeah, I'd say I definitely believe there are aliens out there. There are other beings, within the different universes and this and that. I haven't had contact or really seen a UFO myself, but you know, I believe there must be intelligent beings elsewhere. And so, you know, and I think that's kind of a frame of reference, you know, that we used in this film too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the universe is just way too big for there not to be something else out there. And but like you're saying, I don't have like personal stories, but it has been fun because people have reached out to us, or like I've had an email from like other people I've collaborated with, other filmmakers, even not specifically just random strangers, and they've been like, oh yeah, I definitely saw an alien, like, and so it was kind of cool to like that our film stirred that up a little, that conversation.
Like, who would have thought that? Another unexpected, I don't want to say consequence, but another unexpected gift that came out of that. Here you
Yeah.
guys are just creating this thing. You had no idea, you know, that your inspiration would inspire all of these people at the same time. People coming out of the woodwork going, oh yeah, by the way, I have an ET story. Oh, by the way, I have a UFO story. So I mean, that's just fantastic, because you guys are probably affecting, you know, because this is going to be our first year that it's virtual. So this means that it's not just reserved for whoever's in the theater. This is going to be open to, you know, the world. So it's going to be interesting to see all the other reverberations that are going to come out of this, out of all the other people who are going to be watching this going, oh my gosh, whoa, I feel like I could really relate to this person. It's interesting because I just interviewed someone yesterday who entered a documentary about a woman who's abducted. So this is interesting. Here we have a mockumentary about a guy who's abducted by UFOs, but then we also have a documentary. So it's just like, man,
Wow,
these connections.
check that out.
So Patrick, are you by any chance, and I just got to ask you this because I really love synchronicities, are you by any chance brothers of a guy named Chris McElroy?
No, I'm not. I do have two brothers, but their names are Rory and Dylan.
Well, I got to tell you, Patrick, this is interesting because there's a guy who's entered a movie into the film festival. His name is Chris McElroy, and his movie is called American Sci-Fi. Once again, about ETs. So
yeah, interesting connection.
Yeah,
wow,
a lot of connections.
Not a ton of McElroys out there, so that's really cool.
yeah, what McElroy's, by the way, it sounds like a great Western. You know, oh, here come the McElroys. It sounds like, you know, like a family of like. What kind of projects would you guys like to make for like, what would be some of your dream projects? I know you guys probably have some just marinating back there where you're going, ooh, this would, you know, if I had the budget to make this thing, or if I could work with this actor, or what are some of those projects?
Well, I've been writing a feature version of Alien Guide Tim, and we're hoping that maybe we could get that made in the next couple of years. And so that's sort of the next level that what we're trying to do. And we have some other ideas, you know, pilot that we've been working on. So we have a few things that we'd certainly like to do. And there's so many great people, great actors, and that I love to work with, you know. Yeah. So, you know, I don't know, like Danny McBride and his crew.
Oh yeah.
Would be, I think, a ton of fun to work with them, and just, you know, who knows where you'll end up.
Yeah, I know we don't. Yeah, I feel like we don't have specific people in mind for the feature, but just watching films like within the last year, I know we both connected a lot to the movie Palm Springs and movies like that we find to be like, you know, like ours, like kind of quirky in the sci-fi-ish element to it, but comedies at their heart. And then yeah, like people like Lonely Island, Andy Samberg and guys like that, and it would be fun to kind of go the path they've taken with their films.
Well, it's cool. You have this character down pat, you know, and you really don't need a bunch of locations. You guys already know that you were able to shoot this thing in 3 days. Right. I can only imagine that you guys could very easily shoot a feature film like this. I can't imagine it costing a heck of a lot of. I mean, I don't know what kind of budgets you're imagining. If you really want to have, you know, a CGI UFO type of thing, you know, that might cost a little extra. But just the showing without telling aspect is awesome too, because you're leaving a lot in there for the imagination.
Right. Well, flying in the alien girlfriend might be expensive.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
But no, yeah, we understand that, you know, it would be an indie feature, and hopefully, but it's, you know, you want to make it right and make it well. So, and we had an amazing team, our cinematographer, the actors.
Oh,
they're all friends and people we know well, that we were thrilled to work with. The composer I've known since I was 4 years old. So we're incredibly lucky to have such talented friends who were willing to go all the way with this project, and so we're just hopeful that we could pay them a better rate on a feature film.
Yeah, they helped us out a lot and gave us some very, very friendly discounts. And so, yeah, we would love to actually, have the budget to, like Pat said, to be able to pay a full rate to them.
Well, you guys, I mean, look at Wes Anderson, like how he started out with Bottle Rocket. I mean, dude, I love like when you're there, like when you feel like you've seen, someone that you relate to and you see their movies evolving through the years, and you're going, oh my God, wow, Wes Anderson is really catching up. Wow, look at this. They started with this, and then look at now what they're doing. And I mean, it's just like what you guys are doing. That's what you're doing right now. The soundtrack was awesome. The cinematography was great. I love the slow motion judo stuff. The judo stuff, man, it was great, man. Like that was just awesome. And then the whole intervention, with the brother and sister, and it's just like, it's cool. Oh yeah, the True Believers Club. That was really, really cool because the dude who's like so obsessed with Tim going, oh yeah, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out. It's like they all view you as this celebrity because you're the only one who has had, the true UFO experience.
Right. Guys... I really, that's maybe the scene that made me laugh the most was Jesse Kruger. He's a friend I worked with for a few years, and I just knew he was the right guy to play that part. And he did maybe 10 different takes of that and like improvised, and every one was so hilarious.
They were so good.
He's such a funny guy, and I was just really glad that we captured him doing that.
I remember. Sorry.
No. Go on.
I just remember, obviously, as you know, I'm an editor, and so I have a lot of practice with it, and so it wasn't like too difficult for me to cut it, especially being on set. But that scene, I had to send Pat. I was like, hey man, like here's like, I don't know how many. I maybe sent you all of them, and I was like, I just don't know like which one to use because it was all like a one take thing as well, and so I can't cut between stuff, and it was really. I mean, I was tearing up at all of them, but I was like, which one is going to make people laugh the most and make the most sense and looks the best, and so hopefully we found the right one.
It's both a blessing and a curse to have too much footage, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh my God, there's so much good stuff here. Yeah. How do you find, because then it's like, that phrase, killing your babies. You're like, oh my God, we saved this one or putting that in there, but all those 25 or 30 others,
right.
It's like, no one will see those. I guess that's what special features are for, when you put them out, because then you get to show all that stuff.
Exactly, yeah. We had some good outtakes.
So that was one of the things I want to ask you too. How much of this was, because Patrick, you really seem to have this, you have lived with this character. You know his mind inside and out and everything. So it was probably really easy for you to know, oh yeah, I could easily improvise with this. Now, how much of this was improvised? How much of it was written? How much of it was, what's sort of the percentage there?
I would say it was mostly written. I mean, we had hoped to do maybe more improvisation, but because of shooting in 3 days, we didn't have a lot of time. So I'd say about 90% of what ended up in was written, and maybe another 10 was improvised. And I think if we had a little more time, I would have done more improvising, but it was probably 90% on the page.
Yeah, and it's also like the scene we were discussing with Jesse Kruger with the Matthew, the obsessed true believer fan scene. That at least they could bounce off of each other, whereas of course most of the time Pat was just talking to camera straight by himself, and so it was doing the script he had already written. So yeah, there wasn't as much room, I guess.
Wow, that's such a great point. Now that I think about, a lot of it is just Patrick, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that till now. That's one of the few times, or with his brother and sister, those are the few times you actually see him interacting with with these other people,
right?
Which is interesting when you think about it, because they're on completely opposite sides of the spectrum. So you see him interacting with the people who are totally into what he's talking about, and then you see the other side of the spectrum. They're like, you're nuts. We need to stick you into a mental institution. But I think you guys just did such a wonderful job. Now, so Scott, when you were on set, from an editor's point of view,
mm-hmm.
that must have given you a lot of, like, how should I put it? Having that foresight and forethought of how you might go, ooh, yeah, I know how that could cut with this. Was there a lot of those moments where you're going, ooh, I know exactly how this is going to get edited?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not on set and don't shoot as much as I used to. And this was really fun because this was like our first budgeted short where, I got to just sit there and enjoy it. And so, I think seeing the shots has always been very helpful to me to figure out, okay, this is how I'll cut. And of course with this, there was an added layer because it was a documentary. So it's like, if Pat said, you know, I mean, even if he screwed up, which he didn't, because he's an incredible actor. And, but like, if there were moments, I'm like, well, we can cover up these things with a shot of like an alien statue or books and something to like add a little more humor to it, where we're not just straight cutting, you know, wide, close of this individual where you're going to get tired after a while. So I think that alone added humor and added like context to the situations.
Absolutely. And, you know, man, insert shots are such, so hugely important. I used to edit wedding videos. My buddy, he would shoot weddings out in Chicago and then send me the videos. And that was one of the really big parts, is like, you know, show the production design, you know, show the close-ups of the glasses and someone pouring the wine in and all that. And that in itself is its own character. You guys had so much great character in that apartment. That was its own character. You see the posters, you see the books. So it was great that you were able to cut to those things, and they save you so much, don't they? They're
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because then you can.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go on.
No, I think, the final scene too, that was probably one of the hardest ones to cut. And making sure we had all the right footage. And that was great, because Tyler Heckerman, our cinematographer, he like made sure that we had got a wide variety, at least. So you're not, not just in the car with Tim driving out to the desert. You're seeing him from up above in a drone. You're seeing him from the side, all that. So that was great.
Because, it gets, was it actually dark out there, or is that movie magic that you used?
Well, yeah, this brings up a good story if you want to tell it, Pat.
I guess to answer your question quickly, it was sunset, but that was the one issue we had on the, everything had gone smoothly for 2.5 days, right? And we met out actually, Scotty has a property out in Joshua Tree, and that's where we filmed the final scene. And our sound guy was meeting us there at his property, and we were doing some of the driving shots, down the road. And he said, I can meet you. And I said, okay. I dropped a pin, and there's it's a lot of dirt roads, sandy roads back and forth throughout Joshua Tree. And so he took a back road to meet us, and his truck got stuck. And so he was about a mile away from where we were filming the final scene. But we had, even at one point, Scotty, our director, and our still photographer and our drone guy were all trying to help him get his car out, while me and the cinematographer were doing some more driving shots. And but the sound guy was amazing, and he was great, and he came back, and we got what we needed. But we were more pressed for time than we expected to be. And we were fortunate that it worked out, but we thought we had, maybe 4 hours to play with there, but it became, quickly became like 2 hours. And now we just have to shoot it before it's dark.
Yeah. And I remember being like under his truck, like digging out the sand, and like just wondering to myself, like this better be worth it. Like
gosh.
Luckily,
dude,
it all worked out.
I am feeling the impending, like, as you're telling me the story, I'm like, I was feeling so itchy as you're telling me, like, and then this is going on. Meanwhile, that's going on. It's like, what's going to happen first? That's just crazy that he ended up getting stuck out there. And meanwhile, you're like, this is our last day to film. So there are just all these.
Yeah. He was such a trooper too, in terms of just like wanting to make sure we finished, like, cause we only had a couple scenes where you actually needed to hear Tim, and the rest, obviously, as were just beauty shots. And so he just wanted to make sure that we got it done. He was like, I came out here. He's like, let's do it. And so, yeah, it was amazing. Like we lucked out so much having such a good crew.
Oh my God. And yeah, obviously it sucks in the moment when stuff like that happens, but guess what? You get to tell the crazy story later on.
Exactly.
So it's like, would we rather have the dull, boring, the shoot was perfect. Everything was perfect. Everything went great. Everyone was on time. Everything was fine. Oh, I guess I have no more questions. But it's when that crazy stuff happens that you get to share that, I mean, dude, that's, I can only imagine, there's so many elements to that story in itself. Just the fact that you're out in Joshua Tree, out in the middle of nowhere, so many potentials for someone to get lost out there, especially with the dirt roads. for Halloween, I was out at Giant Rock and I had to meet my friends out there. And they're like, oh yeah, just follow, just follow the dirt road. And like, the whole thing is a dirt road. What do you, am I going in the right way? I just remember like just feeling that fear of like, am I ever going to reach them? Or is the car going to run out of gas? Or am I going to get stuck? Or what's going to happen? So like I was feeling that aspect, and then the aspect of you guys having to shoot this thing by a certain time because look, here comes the sun, it's going down, and then meanwhile, oh God, man, I'm glad you guys made out of it alive, because like
we are too.
you really did a great movie with what you had. I mean, it was just.
Thank you.
It's always so satisfying to me when I can see drone shots, especially drone shots out in the wide open. It's always exciting for me to see that. So I'm glad you peppered some of those in there.
Yeah, we were super fortunate on that too. It's a friend of mine, Keith, who's, he was starting up a drone company, and he was like, I just love to shoot some drone footage, so I'll come out for free.
Perfect. Perfect.
So we got incredibly lucky with that, because otherwise we wouldn't have had those drone shots.
And yeah, that's one of the most, I feel like those are some of the most talked about shots in the movie usually
Oh my God, man. Oh my God.
We get really lucky for that. Yeah. I mean, because people, you watch the final scene, and to have that variety of shots, it adds to it so much.
Oh yeah. And, yeah, I look forward to seeing more stuff with this guy. And one thing that, before I tie this up, I just got to say, I can totally imagine your alien guy Tim having a TikTok channel, and him just talking. Since you can already improvise this and you already know about him, he could just tell his stories about his different abductions, or what it's like to be on the other planet, or what it looks like inside the spaceship. And I could totally imagine it skyrocketing. So I'm just going to plant that little seed in your brain so that you kind of think about that.
Yeah. We've actually, on Instagram, I have done a bunch of those.
Oh, good.
Little videos from Tim, explaining his Cindervis 9, his alien girlfriend, or, talking about different current events in the world, to do with UFOs or aliens, and just his experience. And so that's gotten some good feedback so far.
What, for the people who are watching, what's the name of that Instagram so they could go check it out?
But yeah, it's at Alien Guy Tim, all lowercase. And so you should be able to find me, but with the glasses and the hat and the goatee.
And yeah, it is fun, because if you look back at the early posts, you'll see like the videos Pat did originally, and you can see this progression of us, like our crowdfunding, all the way to having an actual trailer, to shooting before, obviously, and then the festivals and all that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's fun to scroll back through it and go down memory lane.
It really is. It's important. It's important for people to see the creative process. So many times we're taught about the genius, the genius of this person, the genius of that person. Oh, this is a genius. But really, genius just simply comes from following through with an inspiration, really. Genius is the end product of something that originally inspired you who knows how long ago. And the fact that you guys, show this creative process of going, look, here we are crawling, here we are walking, here we are running, here we are sprinting, and now running a marathon. So it's cool, man, because who knows how many people are inspired by that.
Yeah, no, thank you. And that's the hope that, maybe if we can inspire one person with our film, that'd be amazing. And, we took a kind of absurd idea and concept, and just, we had been talking for a long time about doing crowdfunding for a short film, but we wanted to have something that we both enjoyed and really, thought this is a good idea. This is something we both find funny, and we want to do it. And so we were, fortunate to get to that place finally and make this.
Yeah. And wow. I think as we were making it, it's something, we had friends and family, everybody donating all this money to us, and it was so kind of them. And we wanted it, to make something that they're proud of as well. And we're just excited that it seemingly they've all enjoyed it. And then obviously when we go to festivals, to have people come up to us and tell us how much they enjoyed it and appreciated it. And so, yeah, that's been a great part of it.
God, that is so cool. You guys, well, thank you so much for stopping by and talking about your movie. Alien Guy Tim is great. For those of you who are watching here at KaPow IFF 2021, please go check out Alien Guy Tim. There's so many little delicious nuggets of hilarity and information to be found in there. And real quick, so Scott, do you have a place that you want to send people? Do you guys have a website?
I have my own Instagram. It's at Simerly, Simile Productions. And so yeah, I post it's a lot of my work, and then obviously Alien Guy Tim when we have updates, and
yeah.
But yeah, also sorry.
I was gonna say we have alienguytim.com if you want to see or hear anything else about the film.
Yeah, you can look up on there. We have a lot of all the festivals we've been in and some of the reviews we've gotten, which are exciting. And then, yeah, of course, trailer and then, other links. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to KaPow for selecting us. And I mean, it's super exciting to see other films that, seemingly are in the same world as Alien Guy Tim is always really great. Instead of, we've had plenty of festivals where we pop up right after or before some incredibly dramatic film.
Oh yeah,
it's always a weird combination. And so people really don't know why this weird alien guy is talking to them, and all of a sudden, so it's
right after some big heartfelt foreign film or something,
right,
people like crying,
and
then you guys come out with this awesome, beautiful absurdity. Oh God, man, yeah, we are so happy to have you guys, and thank you so much for being on here, and we look forward to screening you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
really appreciate
Thank you so much, Kurt. Really appreciate it, and really thrilled to be a part of this.
Thank you. Take care, you guys.
You too.